What's up YouTube, it's Optimal, and today I am happy to present you guys with my personal favorite archetype, Heroes. So the Hero deck is a very versatile deck ranging from Elemental Heroes all the way up to Inferno Heroes, Turbo Heroes, Destiny Heroes. There's so many variations of this deck. It's a very combo heavy based deck, and it has a lot of searchability. This deck is very consistent, but today I will be showcasing you guys my favorite way to play Heroes. It's a more laid back, semi-competitive build. It's a high risk, high reward version of the deck. So let's get right into it. And if you guys want me to go further in depth on specific cards, like if you want me to describe all the multifaceted ways you can use Destiny Hero Malicious, Denier, or Vision Hero Vion, or any cards you see in the deck, you can always watch my YouTube shorts where I cover each card individually. But for now, let's get right into it. So first off, you're going to be running 3 copies of Vision Hero Fairs, a great starter card in the deck. You discard a card and then you special summon him out, and then you can place any Vision Hero from your deck in your spell and trap card zone. You specifically want to be putting your Vision Hero Increase in your spell and trap card zone. So Vision Hero Increase, once it's placed from the spell and trap card zone, you pop your Fairs, summon him out, and then once he's summoned, you get your 2. You can summon out one of your copies of Vision Hero Vion. So Vion, when normal or special summon, allows you to ditch one of your hero monsters into your graveyard. Specifically, you want to be sending off your Destiny Hero Denier or Mali to the grave. And then you can banish your Fairs from your graveyard to add your Polymerization from your deck to your hand. So this is the correct ratio, in my opinion, to be running your Vision Hero package. Now we're going to be moving on to your hero package that you run in the deck. So for heroes, you're going to be running 1 copy of Elemental Hero Honest Neos. This card will work as kind of a hand trap. It boosts your attack of any of your hero monsters, so it's almost a deterrent during the battle phase. Next up, key starter in the deck is your Elemental Hero Stratos. It fetches you out any hero monster from your deck to your hand, so it lets you add any combo pieces that you're missing, and it's just overall a really great card. And sometimes you can also use its secondary ability where you can pop your opponent's spells and trap cards according to how many hero monsters you have on the field. Next up, you're running the 1 Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. This card, when normal summoned, you can special summon out any hero monster from your hand, so that lets you trigger off the effects of Stratos or Shadow Mist. But if you summon it from the graveyard, the effects are negated, but it gives you extra fodder so you can go into your link plays or extra fusion materials that you might be requiring. But you mainly want to use its secondary ability, where you banish it and you get to draw 2 cards. But you have to, I believe, either discard 1 or place 1 card back into your deck. I always confuse this card's effect with Crosskeeper, but it helps you get more draw power in the deck. So that's why I'm saying this deck is very consistent. Then you're going to be running your 2 copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist fetches you out your Mass Change from your deck to your hand and allows you to go into your Mass Hero plays, such as specifically Dark Law, so you can shut down the graveyard to make your opponent's life a little harder. And also, if you use it for a fusion material or send it to the graveyard, you get to add 1 hero from your deck to your hand, so more follow-up plays. So like I'm saying, this deck is very consistent. It allows you to add cards from deck to hand, grave to hand. It's very consistent. Next up, for your Destiny package, you're going to be running the 1 copy of Destiny Hero Plasma for your skill drain play. So when this is summoned, it basically negates all your opponent's monsters effects. So this is a really strong card, and you get to snatch steal 1 of your opponent's monsters. Next up, you're going to be running 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. So you can easily go into your Crosskeeper, your Dread Decimator, and your Wonder Driver. So you have very easy access to your link plays. And to pair off well with your Destiny Hero Malicious, the 1 Destiny Hero Denier, this is essentially the 3rd Mali in the deck, since this guy is limited to 2. When this card is normal or special summon, you get to take one of your banished Malis, put it back on the top of your deck, And then if you have your second Mally in the graveyard, banish it, and then you can bring that one off from the top of your deck into your spell and trap. Into your monster zone. That way you can go into bigger link plays. So you can basically link climb. So this guy is really great. And then 1 copy of Destiny Hero Dark Angel. So you basically give this off to your opponent, and then your opponent's monsters' effects and their spell cards cannot resolve as long as they have this card on the field. So just to rub a little more salt into the wound. So if you have a Denier, Malicious, and Destiny Hero Plasma in the graveyard, those are the 3 Destiny Heroes required to get this card off. Next up, we're going to be hopping right into the spell card portion of the deck. This deck is very spell card heavy. And by the way, if I didn't mention it before, the thumbnail was created by an artist. I'll link them down in the description below, so you guys can go check them out, show them your love, and support them. And also, if you saw any of my deck profiles, any thumbnail I use is probably by an artist. So make sure you click the links, subscribe to them, and show them your love. Because I do not own their art, and all art belongs to their respective artists. So let's continue. So for our spell cards, we're going to be running... Oh, wait, sorry. I didn't finish off the monster portion. Okay, lastly, for the monsters, we're going to be running with the 1 Evil Hero, a Dusted Gold. That way you get access to your Evil Hero, Malicious Bane. And it's you discard it to add your Dark Calling from deck to hand. 2 copies of Crosskeeper. So if you have any hero monster in your hand, you discard this guy, and then you can special summon that hero monster. So this helps you get off your Destiny Hero Shadow Mist or your Destiny Hero Stratos, and then you can banish this card when you fusion summon to draw 2 cards. Now we get into the spell cards. So for the spell cards, we're going to be running 1 D-Force. This card makes your Destiny Hero Plasma virtually invincible. It boosts their attack, gives them extra protection, and also helps search out your Destiny Hero Plasma. Next up, you're going to be running 1 Emergency Call to add any elemental hero from your deck to your hand. So any missing combo pieces like Stratos, if you don't have it in your opening hand. And the best card in the deck, a Hero Lives. At the cost of half your life point, you can special summon any hero monster from your deck onto your field. So this is a great opening card. You always want to see this in your opening hand. You activate this card and you bring out your Shadow Mist, and then the Shadow Mist nabs you your Mass Change. You set your Mass Change, pass turn, then summon your Dark Law, and then when Shadow Mist goes to the graveyard, you get to add 1 hero monster from your deck. As you guys can see, this deck very consistent. Next up, we're running 1 Ian Shuffle. So Ian Shuffle is in here. So it's good for late game or mid game. So if you have a useless card on the field, like let's say you have Stratos, you already used up its effect, you bounce the Stratos back into your deck, and then this will special summon out any elemental hero monster from your deck. So you could bring out your Shadow Mist, for example, and then Shadow Mist nabs you your Mass Change. Or you could bounce back your Shadow Mist if you're not using it to bring out your Stratos. Stratos adds 1 hero monster from your deck to your hand. As you can see, a bunch of recursion is happening in this deck. So next up, you're going to be running 3 copies of Mass Change. Mass Change sends any hero monster from your field to the graveyard. And then you get to special summon 1 fusion hero monster, any masked fusion hero according to its attribute. So this gets you access to all your masked hero plays. Next up, you're going to be running the 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny gets you access to your Destiny Hero Destruction Phoenix, which is your floater in the deck, and your Omni Negate, and saves you from any mishaps that might occur. So next up, you're running the 1 Super Polymerization. Super Poly's here for your Omni heroes in case you need to go into a light-based hero, dark-based like Escudo, or Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, or Shining. I think it's called Elemental Hero The Shining. So it's here for your Omni heroes, and so you can steal your opponent's monsters, and the fusion monster you summon off of this card will be protected because it's a speed spell 4. And in case you might have used Fusion Destiny, this helps you go into your Estrudo in case you might be logged into dark-based heroes. Next up, you're going to be running 2 copies of Parmesan. I was running it at 1, but I think 2 is a better ratio because I always find the need that I might, I always find myself having a need to have 2. So 2 is perfect. Next up, we're running 1 Miracle Fusion. Miracle Fusion is easily added from your deck to your hand off of, I think it's Elemental Hero Sunriser. And then with this card, because you summon Sunriser, and then Sunriser fetches you the Miracle Fusion, the Miracle Fusion will allow you to send the materials you used for Sunriser to go into Absolute Zero. And Absolute Zero is essentially your board wiper. And if you use Destiny here, Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier, you get to draw 2. So you see a bunch of draw power in this deck. So next up, the 1 copy of Dark Calling. So when you send your Evil Hero a Dusted Gold, this fetches you your Dark Calling. Dark Calling banishes monsters, and then you can summon out your Beat Stick of Evil Hero Malicious Bane. The 1 Rhoda of Reinforcement of the Army to fetch any level 4 hero monster that you need or missing in your opening hand. I personally like to use this card to search out my Crosskeeper sometimes to basically fix my clogged hands, or that way I can just end up discarding it off of what's it called? Forbidden Droplet. That way I can get its secondary effect whenever I fusion summon. Next up, the 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is there to send off your Denier or your Mally to grave. That way you can get access to your link plays quicker. And then this is why I'm saying this is a more high risk reward kind of playstyle, and more of a fun version because I'm not playing that many hand traps. So for our first hand trap, we're playing 1 Triple Tactics Talent to rip a card, draw 2 for extra draw power, even though this deck doesn't need that much draw power. And then also you can steal one of your opponent's monsters, so you can steal their starters. And then 1 copy of Dark Ruler No More to get rid of pesky hand traps. And the 1 Forbidden Droplet. This card is very cool because it lets you shut down your opponent. So if your opponent has like an annoying monster, it's kind of a board breaker. It negates your opponent's monster's effect. That way you can safely conduct your fusion plays. And again, like I said, if you have reinforcement of the army and you added this to hand, you can use your droplet to ditch this card, and you later on in the duel you get to draw 2, and then also you get to negate your opponent's monster's effects. You can conduct your fusion plays safely, or you can use this to ditch your Denier or your Mally, and that's not even going minus because again we want that Mally and that Denier to be in the graveyard. And lastly, to round out our whole main deck, 1 copy of Break the Destiny. So Break the Destiny allows you to target your Destiny Hero Plasma, and then let's see here, you can banish this cards at once. So if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it. You can add your D-Force to your hand. D-Force then gets you the Plasma, but if you have Destiny Hero Plasma on the field, you can activate this card and skip your opponent's main phase 1. So essentially you force them into their battle phase. So that's why you run the 1 copy of this. And honestly, I think it pairs really well with the D-Force Plasma combo in the deck. Next up, we're going to go into our extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be running, for our Masked Hero package, you're going to be running 1 copy of Masked Hero Blast. It's good to bounce cards back, and you can summon this guy off of Stratos. 1 copy of Masked Hero Dark Law. You can always run this guy at 2. This guy shuts down and locks down the graveyard. So any graveyard-based strategies like tier elements, basically those decks get neutralized. Next up, 1 copy of Masked Hero Acid. This guy blows up your opponent's spell and trap cards, and then burns your opponent for, I believe, 300 for each card that was destroyed. And if you summon this guy off of the back of one of my personal favorite hero monsters, Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, then you essentially get a full board wipe, because Absolute Zero will destroy all your opponent's monsters once it's sent to the graveyard, and then once Acid gets summoned to the field, Acid pops all your opponent's spells and traps. So a complete board wipe, and they get burned, so it advances your game state. So Moving on to the one elemental hero card that you're running in the extra deck is Elemental Hero Sunriser. It helps boost your hero monster's attack, so gives them more of offensive capabilities, and also nabs you your Miracle Fusion, and then your Miracle Fusion gets you access to your Absolute Zero. For your Omni heroes, you're running one Elemental Hero Absolute Zero to board wipe, your one Elemental Hero Scruto for your as a super poly target for your dark attribute monsters, Elemental Hero the Shining for light based, in case you need to use super poly and nab one of your opponent's light based monsters. And then also, if this card is ever destroyed, you get to recur 2 of your banished hero monsters and add them to your hand. That could be your Mally, your Denier, or your Liquid Soldier. So that's why I like to run this guy. Next up, for your Destiny Hero package, you're going to be running the one Destiny Hero Dangerous. That way you can send your Denier or your Mally to graveyard more easily, more consistently. And then the one copy of Destiny Hero Destruction Phoenix Enforcer, because it's your floater. It pops a card, and this will basically ruin your opponent's day. This is the heart and soul of the deck. You're basically your real ace monster. And next, for your beat stick of the deck, you're running Evil Hero Malicious Bane. So you can summon this off of your Dark Calling, and helps you get rid of all your opponent's like low-level monsters. And lastly, the big beat stick and the big boss monster of the deck, Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. There's a really cool combo you can do with this guy by popping him with Destiny Hero Destruction Phoenix, and then it nabs you another hero monster. But once this card's fusion summon, this guy's attack goes up to like crazy heights. It can go up to like 6,500, and then you just ram into your opponent's monster and then go for game. So that rounds out the fusion portion of the extra deck. Next up, we're going into our Link monsters. For Link monsters, we're running 2 copies of Extra Hero Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is essentially what helps you loop and go into higher Link plays with your Denier and your Destiny Hero Militias. By popping the Destiny Hero monster that you bring off of him, you get to search out any hero monster from your deck to your hand, and it allows you to go into your Wonder Driver. Your Wonder Driver, when a hero monster summoned below it, you get to recur your Poly or your Miracle Fusion, set it in your Spell and Trap Guard zone, and then you get an extra usage out of that. And then lastly, just for extra power in the deck, we're running one extra hero, Dread Decimator. Dread Decimator boosts his attack, lowers attack, and essentially to like beef up your offensive capabilities and boost up your hero monsters on attack. That way you can end up going for game. So overall, this is my personal version and I think the funnest way to play heroes with high risk, high reward. And I hope you guys like the deck profile. I will make a separate video where I go in depth on the combos in this deck and how the deck functions. And you can also watch our YouTube shorts where I go into specific cards where I'll be like, okay, it's going to be a 1 minute short, and I'll go in depth about this specific card or how it combos with other cards. That way you guys can get a full grasp of how heroes work. And tell me if you guys in the description below want to see any variations of my hero decks. I do have Turbo Heroes, Inferno Heroes, Destiny Heroes, Control Heroes, Wake Up Your Heroes. Like I'm saying, this deck is very versatile, flexible. It's almost like water. So again, I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.